Hello, everybody. The DUI guy is back once again with another video. As you all can see tonight, once again, we have Chris in the house. And sorry, that was my overlay. I had to pause that real quick. As you can all see, I have Chris with me once again, the former police officer who had actual police training, had arrests in the field, was on the beat as a police officer back in his day. And he's going to be joining me once again this week, where we're going to be dissecting, analyzing, and watching a video of an arrest. I am not sure if I've done this video before. I want to say I haven't, even though it's a pretty old video. But it has been posted. I found it. Somebody posted it in full just a couple of weeks ago, so it's fresh as far as I can see. But I guess if I did, I have not done one with Chris yet. So Chris is going to have a chance to give us his input, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you all enjoy this. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for everyone to get not just the point of view of the lawyer that you've done and you have all seen in the past. Now you get a chance to hear from Chris, who was in the trenches doing this stuff, you know? So, Chris, I hope you're as excited as I am.
I'm excited. And again, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome back. It's so great to have you again, Chris. I thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, this video is titled "Police Officer Arrested for DUI Tries Blackmailing the Arresting Officer." Here is the link in the chat. And I just want to give a quick shout out. Hey, Richard. Hey, Deb. Don in Hawaii. Lord T-Gen. Welcome, one and all to the stream.
Yes, thanks for the welcomes.
Here we go.
I don't want to do HCM, man. I'll do any other test.
You know, come on, David. Hey, Georgene, you know how that, David, I can smell alcohol coming off your breath.
I get you, man. Look, okay. Thompson, David Thompson, I have not been drinking.
But I can smell alcohol coming off your breath.
Can you all hear the video?
I've been drinking, man.
And I know why you won't do HGN, because you know it's the one that's scientific out of the three of them. I am talking to you.
Like, everybody's talking about for real. Me and you.
I'm listening to you, man.
I gave you one the other day.
I understand.
No, man. Listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I'm not being an asshole, neither are you.
Will you please talk to me?
I am talking to you, David.
Turn your goddamn camera off.
Oh, I can't do that.
No, just talk to Molly. Okay, the woman that you fucking know very well.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you as a person.
I understand.
I know things. You know things. Like, will you please just talk to me? Let me get on my way. I'm not drunk. I had 2 beers, maybe, if that. It's 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Look, man. Look, I know you've done things. I've done things. I know Molly. You know Molly. Look, Thompson. Let me talk to you, man.
I mean, that was just a preview, and I think, Chris, what are the first impressions that you're already getting that you feel we're about to see here?
I definitely don't like that officer telling him to turn off his body camera. Okay, that's very bad. He denied the alcohol, then he admitted it. So, the guy's pretty clear on, hey, I smell it. So.
What about you've done some stuff, I've done some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know Molly, I know Molly.
Yeah. Very, very unprofessional. All bad.
Extremely. I agree.
95 northbound, mile marker 8.5. Georgia tag Paul Henry Robert 9473 PHR 9473 via maroon Dodge Ram, one occupant.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm all right. How are you? Got my backup weapon on me. Huh? I got my backup weapon on me. Okay. I was going too fast. I got you. What's your name? Thompson.
Did he just admit to going too fast?
David, the reason I'm talking, man, I'm talking at 90. Yeah. He's annoying. Where you come from, I mean? My wife. Your wife's parents? But I'm going to ask you a straight question. What'd you have to drink this evening, Davis? Not a damn thing, bro. Not a thing at all? Nothing. No. Here, do me a favor. Look at me. I'm just going to move my finger outside. You know what I'm doing.
So let's back up for a second. What was the reason for the stop?
I believe it was for speed.
For speed. So he's saying that the driver was going 90, I believe, was his observation, right?
Yes.
So he stops him for speeding. Do you remember, Chris, from your training, is speeding one of the indicators in the manual?
It is, if I'm correct here, been a little bit, but I believe out of the 24, speed is not.
And that's exactly right. When a police officer pulls over an individual for speeding, unless there are other indicators of bad driving, the manual does not state speeding as being one of them.
Correct.
Exactly right.
Move your eye. Buddy, I smell something coming off of it.
Yeah, my wife's been here. I just dropped off her parents. She's been drinking. I'm good, man. I promise. I've not been drinking.
I'm going to do my due diligence and check here in a second, but I'll get you on your way in just a minute. Hang tight. I'll be right back.
So he's denying that he drank anything at all at this juncture.
He's making room for his roadside.
All right, Dave. Just me real fast.
I'm sorry, say that again, Chris?
He's making room for his roadsides. Is what I think he's backing up for.
The police officer with his vehicle?
Yeah, turned off his LED flashing lights.
Did you catch that the driver opened the door in the meantime?
I didn't like that. And as I guess this guy is an officer, he should kind of like know those things. Is stay in your car, you know.
Right. And as a police officer, if you had seen that, wouldn't that be a little scary and alarming?
Yes, I probably would have approached the car again and just told him, hey, just keep your door shut and hang tight.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, I'm just going to do my due diligence, double check.
Oh, I swear, man.
I know, but
Drop off her parents. But I'm not drinking. I'm not drunk.
okay.
I swear, man.
Well, like I said, I can smell a little alcohol, man. I just want to double check. Like I said, I hate to be in this situation, but I got to check, man.
I'm not.
You know where I'm coming from.
I'm not driving.
Well, I just know.
I'm not drinking.
Okay.
I dropped her off. I'm going home. I'm not drinking. I promise, man.
Well, David, you got any medical conditions?
I think this guy's
Take
talking
medication.
too much
We're glad you're
already.
All right, look. So go ahead and do, like I said, you know what we're going to do, so I'm going to just check real fast. You just face towards me.
I don't want to do HCM, man. I'll do any other test. I just don't do
Okay, so, Davis, I can smell alcohol coming off your breath.
I get you, man. Look,
Okay.
I'll do your other test, but I won't do the
Okay.
most scientifically reliable test that we've been trained under.
Buddy, you're tying my hands.
I will do the best product test. I'm just telling you, I have not been drinking.
But I can smell alcohol coming off your breath.
My wife's been drinking, man.
Okay,
I
but
just dropped her off.
I understand that, but like, I understand, but David,
Look.
take your hands out of pockets for me. Sorry, I know it's a safety thing. I know, no, I know you know me, but you know how it goes. It's still a safety thing.
I get you, man.
And I know why you won't do HGN, because you know it's the one that's scientific out of the three of them.
I get you.
You haven't been drinking. Why don't you want to do it?
Because I'm just telling you, I just want to go, man. Please, just let me get on my way. Thompson, please.
You are You're tying my hands pretty hard here, buddy.
I'm not tying your hands, man. I'll do any test you want. I'm telling you, I haven't been drinking. I just want to get on my way.
Okay, then, like I said, you just said you didn't want to do HGN. But if you haven't been drinking, there's no reason not to do HGN, and you know that. You and I both know that.
I realize
I know that, but I'm asking you, buddy, are you willing to do HGN or not? It's up to you. Okay. That's all I want to do with you real fast. Face towards me. You know how it goes. Put your feet together for me. Legs straight, arms down by your side, straight ahead at me. Okay. Focus on the green light for me. Move it side to side. I just want you to follow with your eyes only. Don't move your head, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll focus on it. We'll start out. Now, don't move your head for me. Just your eyes.
I'm over here.
Keep your head still. You're still moving it.
No, I'm moving
it. Focus on it for me. No, don't move your head. Just your eyes.
I'm bad, man.
No, you're still moving your head, David. David,
you talk to me for a second.
I am talking to you. But
over here by your car, for real. Me and you.
I mean, I'm listening to you, man.
I gave you one the other day.
I understand.
No, man. Listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I'm not being an asshole, and neither are you.
Will you please talk to me?
I am talking to you, David.
Turn your camera off.
Oh, I can't do that.
Look, I'm not drunk. I promise you.
Would you turn that body camera off?
Absolutely not.
I mean, the stones on this guy, right?
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Because I'm a police officer, because I carry a badge, the rules don't apply to me. So how about you just let me go? And we call it a day, buddy. Because we're pals, we're friends, right? I mean, that's just crazy.
Me and my wife got in a fight. It's our wedding day.
Okay.
Just talk to Molly.
Okay.
The woman that you fucking know very well.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you as a person.
I
like,
understand.
I know things. You know things. Like, will you please just talk to me? Let me get on my way. I'm not drunk. I've had 2 beers, maybe, if that, since 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Look, man.
Oh, he just changed his story.
He did now admit to 2 beers.
He started out with, I didn't have anything to drink. I'm not drunk, which is already kind of a contradiction. Why would you be drunk if you haven't been drinking?
Right.
Right.
And he is standing awfully close for comfort and touching him as he's talking. That to me is just an officer safety concern. He should tell him to step back a little bit.
Do you feel like this man, this driver, feels like he's got special privileges?
Right now, yeah. But this other officer's doing a good job of telling him, we're not turning off the camera, so on and so forth. He's gonna do his job the right way.
It's definitely starting to seem like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like this officer. Not the one being arrested, the one
Right.
that's doing his job.
You've done things. I've done things. I know Molly. You know Molly. Look, Thompson, let me talk to you, man.
Okay.
Will you please let me talk to you over here by the car?
David, I mean, we're talking outside either way. My flashlight's down on me a little bit, but like when I'm doing 18, you keep moving your head.
I'm not moving my head.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, man. And you're putting me in a tough spot.
I'm not trying to. Will you please just let me talk to you by your car? You can read it this in a second.
Okay.
Will you please let me talk to you?
I mean, I'm listening to you right now, buddy.
Come on, man.
We can stand right here. I'm gonna grab another flashlight out of my car, but here, stand right there at the front of it for me.
Look, man, for real.
I understand.
I'll just goddamn camera talk.
I can't do that. You know that.
I'm not drunk.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Okay.
Will you please?
But
Will you please? Thompson?
you know I got a job to do.
I don't dispute that one.
Okay.
One bit.
I
But
understand.
I'm not drunk.
Okay, I'm not saying you are, but I'm checking.
Let me get on the way, man.
I can't do that without double checking. You know that.
Okay. We'll run right back through H10 with you because you kept moving your head. So here, just face towards me again. Put your feet together for me. We did the walk turn, man. Well, you know. Come on, David. Face towards me. You know how the David. Come on, David. You're starting. You're literally yelling at me on the side of the road. You're starting to be belligerent. You need to calm down. Okay. It's so rough. I understand that, but you know where I'm coming from. Come on. All right. Feet together, legs straight, arms down my stomach, straight ahead at me. All right, like I said, side to side, follow your eyes only. Don't move your head. Focus on for me again.
Hey, Kat. Hey, R. Boyd. Hey, Lacey. Tabby's daddy. Welcome, everyone.
Say it for me. I need you to say it for me, buddy. Okay, I will. You know what I'm doing. We've already talked. You know what I'm doing. I will take it there. I've been talking to you, David.
Look at that! Look at that arm grabbing the officer. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I mean, if it had been anybody else except, one of his co-workers, if you will,
Right. You'd hope
this guy would have been on the ground.
Right.
First, he's not cooperating. I mean, I've seen enough of these videos, Chris, and I'm sure that you've had your fair share too. We all know how this ends, and if it's just a Joe citizen rather than a police officer, they don't mess around, do they?
Yeah, they do not usually. This guy's letting this guy touch him and yell at him, and I mean, granted, he's in a tough position. He's trying to, play both sides here. He's definitely doing the right thing, but again, he's dealing with this guy that is his coworker, so that makes it difficult.
Right. There's that element in it too, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
The thin blue line that he's got to deal with. And he can't overstep it, but he can't not overstep it. I mean, he's in the beginning, I think he kind of alluded to the fact that you're tying my hands, man. Remember he said that?
I mean, a little, Monday night quarterback in here, but he should have just called a supervisor too to kind of help mediate some of this, keep this going in the right direction. And just having that other supervisor, I think, would help on scene.
I agree.
They're not always available, but, just making that effort, I think, would help.
How do you think that would help? I agree with you.
Because then he's going to see, somebody that may be his superior too, or ranking individual, and he may calm down and not be, hey, turn the camera off so much, and be able to move forward, I think, smoother.
So just having like another witness from the department,
right,
would help diffuse the situation a little bit more?
I think so.
I agree. That's a great idea.
I understand. I can't do that. You know that. I'm asking. Not thinking front seat. What do you want to come for? No, please, man. My patrol back there. We're talking. Let me talk, David. We're talking. I know you, and look, I know. David,
I mean, this is beyond touching. He's grabbing. I can clearly see him grabbing the arresting officer's arms. I mean, this is.
I'm telling you, you understand where I'm coming from. You know the job that I
like that.
Look at that.
No, you don't do that.
Well, I can't sit in the front seat.
I mean, if this dude was a legit criminal, you could like pounce on him at this point and restrain him, restrain his gun, right?
Okay. Well, look, man. Leave me walk down the front. I understand. I'm asking you. Just take me home, man. I hate to say this. I'm the last person to ask that. Please. I'm the last person to ask that. I've done this for 9 years. I know you have. I'm not drinking. I look there.
Now he's back to not drinking.
And I'm asking if you let me continue with what I was trying to do. I'm the last person to ask that, buddy. You should know out of everybody in this county, I'm the last person to ask that. I'm not drunk. Okay, I didn't say you were drunk, but I I haven't even made it all the way through HGN because you keep stopping me. I'm not stopping you. Yes, you are. I understand your call. You got a jacket in the truck? You want to write me a ticket? No, I'm asking if you got a jacket in the truck. I'll grab you a jacket. You want me to sit in my truck? You write me a ticket? No, I want to finish HGN is what I want to do. I'm not going to. Okay. I had 2 beers. Okay. What's the night? I understand. I'm going to go sit in my truck. If you want to write me a ticket, I'm not going to let you sit in the truck yet. Okay. Will you let me finish what I'm doing? David. David. I swear to God. Look, you know how this goes. Well, you are tying my hands. But you aren't. HGN interpretation. It's up to interpretation. Okay. I have not had but 2 beers. You do a PVD?
Did you catch the arresting officer kind of glancing at the camera? Just kind of, I think it was kind of a reminder to himself, like, oh, this is being recorded. All of this is going to be on video. So, like, my ass is covered. Like, right here. You see that?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
see that glance? I mean, he literally looked into the lens, kind of, I think, as a kind of a reminder to himself, like,
right,
don't do anything stupid, man. It's going to be your ass if it's not going to be his.
I have not had but 2 beers. You do a PVD? 2 o'clock tonight. Will you do a PVD? Okay. I'm asking you, can I still sit my truck? We're going to stand right here. If you'll do a PVD, we'll stand right here and we'll solve it right now.
See you later, Richard. Thanks for stopping by. I mean,
I'm telling you, that's not how it goes.
Go ahead, Chris.
I think the guy, what will we call him? The drunk officer, if you will. He keeps walking back to the back. I think so. He's off camera as well. This is the second time he's done that.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of catches him back there. You know, the other guy kind of needs to bring him back to the front. That way we can watch the PBT and watch all that stuff go on.
Tabby's daddy brings up a good point. He says our driver should know that he is being recorded. I don't think that's the issue for him. Right now, he thinks that he's protected. You know, he's a member of the Klan, the police officer Klan here. He's a groupie, call him what you will. I think maybe Klan comes a little too close to the Ku Klux Klan. That's not what I'm talking about. But he's a member of the tribe. How about that? He's a member of the tribe. So he gets special privileges, right? That's what he thinks in his mind right now. So whether or not he's being recorded, I think is completely irrelevant for his purposes, because he's hoping whatever evidence they're going to get, we can throw it in the river. We can hide it. Nobody will ever see it. Again, I get special. The way I'm hearing this guy is I should get special privileges because we have stuff in common. We are co-workers. We know a Molly. I don't know. Did they both sleep with her? Is she an office employee? Is she like a former girlfriend and a current girlfriend to the other? I don't know the story, but they do. They most certainly do. And that's what's important. So it's a great question, or comment, I should say, Tabby's daddy. He should know, and he probably does know, but he does not care. Right now, he has one goal in his mind, and that is get me out of here.
He wants them to turn the camera off. But
turn the camera off. Let me walk away from this scot-free. Thin blue line. Exactly, Lacey. The thin blue line.
You know this. You know I'm the last person in this county to ask that of. You know I am. David, you know I am, man. And I hate being in this situation. I don't like it at all.
I'm not drunk, man.
Okay. I didn't say you were drunk.
Let me go home.
We'll walk back over this way with you. 18 left up to interpretation.
Let's do the walk turn.
All right. We'll do walk and turn then. Come on. You want to leave your flip-flops on or you want to take them off? All right, here. Come stand right here for me. It's right there where my light is, buddy.
Turn around, face towards the car.
What did we just talk about, Chris?
All right. You know the
Do you
instructions.
see the comment on the screen
So I want
by
you to
Mr.
imagine a straight
Leroy?
line on the ground out towards the car. Take a place to the left foot on that line for me. Put your right heel up against your left toe, arms flat down by your sides. Once you stand just like that, do not move from that position unless you don't begin until I tell you to. You understand?
Ain't that the truth?
Again, what I want you to do is take a series
Yeah,
of
he may
9
have been
toe
arrested
steps.
a lot
I'm
sooner.
going to demonstrate 3 of them for
It
you.
would have been
You're going to go
just
1, 2, 3, all the way out to 9. To get to 9, leave your lead foot on the ground, take a series of small steps just like this, and turn yourself around. Then you're going to take 9
And do the
heel toe
hokey
steps
pokey?
back. 1, 2, 3, all the way out to 9. Like that evaluation, I want you to keep your arms flat down by your sides. You look down at your toe. You're going to count out loud, and once you start walking, don't stop until you finish, okay? Understand all the instructions? All right, you may begin whenever you're ready. Stepping on his toes.
That's a flip flop.
Call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back out there.
Chris, how would you rate the driver's performance on that walk and turn?
So right there, I caught 2 things. He raised his arm and he did an improper turn. So he's 2 of 8. I don't know if he stepped off line at all or missed any heel to toe steps, but I mean, he's 2 of 8.
And what does the manual say about that?
Your 79% chances of a DUI right there of 0.08 with 2 out of 8.
So to be devil's advocate, I think mid-stride, he clipped his flip-flop with the other flip-flop.
Yeah, you did mention that.
And
I was kind of jumping around
it.
the comments and things, but yeah.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I'm just commenting on his performance. I would say not losing balance after clipping your flip-flop and just keep going like nothing happened, I mean, is definitely a positive indicator for the dude.
Okay.
You know, and we're not going to go through the full analysis here that I do in cross-examinations, but overall, I think the dude did pretty good on the just from a layperson's, from a juror's perspective.
Okay.
I think he did pretty okay. Wouldn't you agree?
Fair enough. Yeah.
But as a police officer, you definitely detected at least 2 clues, which pursuant to your training.
And they're there,
Like you said, 79% is what the training says about 2 clues on the walk and turn.
Flip-flop back on. All right. Can we repeat yours for me? When they do one leg stand with me, just stand with feet together, legs straight, arms down by your sides for me, okay? I'll get myself, man. We're going to finish what we're doing. I have talked to you, Davis. You know where I'm at. You know what I have to do. You know this is my job. You know this is your job. Let me talk to this car. We talked at the car. Come on, man. What? Are you willing to do one leg stand with me or no? I am, please. Okay.
Hey, Christina. Hi, Tracy. Hey, Johnny.
I swear to God, I'm not wrong. Okay. Okay. I got to do right here if you want to do it. I'll go. Whoever. Please, I'm begging you, dude. Don't make it on me.
Now he's begging.
Austin, I don't want to, but you put me in a position, buddy. You put me in a position. Look, you have put me in a position, Davis. Look, it's a position I don't like. But you put
Hey,
me in a
Eyes
position.
Wide Open. Thanks for joining as a member.
Did he blow into the PBT?
I'm talking to you.
Say that again, Chris.
Did he blow into that PBT that he got out?
I don't think he has yet.
I think he set it down on the hood, but I don't think he ever did.
The arresting officer said, "Would you blow into the PBT for me?" And the driver just keeps avoiding the issue and not answering and not doing it. Yeah, he's just dancing around it.
Right now, brother.
I'm begging you. I understand you're begging me, but come on, here. David. David. Come on, man. No, don't try
That
to
is a
get in
true
my
statement,
car.
eyes wide open.
Look,
Standardized field sobriety test for the elderly and disabled is not, I would say not reliable, but not a good indicator. I would just change the language, but you're absolutely
Will
right.
you please take me home, man? Hey, like I told you, I'm the last person in the county to ask that of. I'm not drunk. Okay, swear to God. Well, you think you
Don't
do
forget to
CBT,
like
correct?
this video,
Yeah.
comment below,
Okay,
subscribe to the
will you
channel.
please take me home, man? I'm
Hit that
if
notification
you're
bell.
safe to drive, I'll let you drive. If you're not,
Hey, Willie.
we will discuss other things in a minute. Thompson, Davis, I hate that you're in this. That we're both in this position right now. I really do. I don't like it. No, I'm not. I'm doing my job, and you know that. Dude, I get it. All right, come on, man. All right. So you willing to give me a PVT sample? All right. Keep breathing. Do it. Blow until you stop. Oh no. You know how this works, Davis. Do not play games with me. I've been in this for 9 years. I understand that, and I'm asking you to cooperate. Come on, don't.
I mean, this argument is starting to get ridiculous.
It is.
I'm asking you, please.
The only reason, again, he's getting, I feel, this leeway is because he's a cop.
Yeah, I do. I have a job to do. Come on. I have a job to do. I'm talking to you right here. David, will you actually give me a legitimate CBT sample or no? Will you? My camera's on. It's staying on. That's how this works. I don't turn it off. Look, man. What's it doing for 9 years? I know you have. And David, let me tell you this. From person to person, I actually like you a lot. I really do. I'm not trying to bullshit you. I actually do like you a lot. I've always thought you've been a really nice guy to me. You've always been super cool with me. I've never had any problems with you. But at the same time, I get it. You know where I'm coming from. Dude, I do. And you have to know how uncomfortable this is for me, too. Okay. No, I can't. Yes, you do. No, I can't, dude. This is not 1999. Davis? I'm asking you if you'll give me an actual legitimate full sample or not. Love to get out here. I'm going to repause it. I understand that, but we also know that there's a discretionary point on how positive it is. If I don't give you a test, we love to get out here. I'm asking you if you'll give me a PVD sample. If I say no, what are you
Hey,
going to
Andrew.
do? I mean, dude,
Hey, Thomas.
What are you going to do? Based on the odor and all speeding, what are you going to do? Odor, speeding, you've been mildly belligerent out here. You've been
Mildly belligerent.
Instructions go on HPN, like.
Talk about a contradiction in terms. Mildly belligerent.
What are you going to do? You're tying me up, David. I'm trying to, but you are, man. I'm trying to confirm with
This is getting old.
Yeah, he needs to either arrest him or let him go.
I don't want to make this case, but say, Austin, will you give me an actual good sample? Yeah. Okay. Will you let me get out of here? Will you take a deep breath to and blow hard? I can't guarantee you that. I just can't. Let me get out of here. I'm asking for an actual good sample, not a puff, but a good sample. Deep breath, do it, blow out hard. Whoa. Come on, you're almost there, man. Well, this one doesn't click as easy as an FS2 does. Well, I'll try it one more time, David. I know you are, man. And like I said, I really don't like being in this situation. I don't. Hold on. Let's got to reboot. Let me get out of here, man. This one's a little more finicky than the FST is. You actually got to give a long sample on it. It sucks, but you do. There, please. Hold on.
Let me pause this real quick for this comment right here by Rod. Rod says, I'm in Ontario. I'm a paralegal here. The longer this goes on, the better it makes the situation for the accused. So this is Canada. Neither Chris or I think, are very familiar with Canadian laws. I for certain am not. And I'm curious if you would shed a little bit of light, Rod. What exactly do you mean that the longer that this goes on, you mean like the situation between the arresting officer and the arrestee? How does it make it better for the accused? I'm very curious to know, and as I'm sure we all are.
Mm-hmm.
Deep breath in. Do it. Blow hard. Whoa.
I'll be watching for your answer in the chat.
Maybe. Please, man. I'm begging you. Let me get out of
Hey,
here.
Jay Bird, you're not that late.
You put me in a situation, man. Dude, I get it, man. I'm asking you, please. Goddamn, please. Let me get out of here. Who's this? I'm about to show it to you. I swear to God, man. My wife and I got in a fight. Let me get out of here, dude, please.
More excuses.
I'm a guilt trip on him.
I'm the last person that's going to have that. I'm going to ruin my career. I goddamn swear to God, I will never do it again. I can't. Thompson, please. Please, man. I goddamn. This whole thing is on that camera. You know this. You know how this goes. You know how this works. Dude, I get it, man. Please. Okay, this is dude. Dude, I'm in a position where I actually, like I said, I actually like you. Dude. I think you're a good guy. Like, I've talked to you several times. I've backed you up on top. You backed me up on top. I actually like you a lot. And I really hate that I'm in this situation. This is the last position I wanted to be in tonight. No, dude, I can't. I can't. I get it. All right. David, I'm sorry, but please don't arrest for driving an influence alcohol, man. Let's get your hands up on. Double lock them.
Rod says the suspect situation is simply more justified the longer there is doubt before an arrest. I see what you're trying to say. What do you think, Chris? I'm going to punt it over to you.
The way it's worded is kind of confusing. It's hard to say. People react different to when they're in trouble. You know, I'd have to say that, you know, some people, like you said, they'll fight it on the street a lot harder than some people will say, okay, put the cuffs on me, I'll fight this in court. There's two different ways people kind of react or more, but I don't think in this case that would be the situation.
And I agree. I don't know how it works in Canada, again, because I'm not familiar with Canadian laws, but I can tell you in the United States, in the majority of states, including Kentucky, which I can speak for personally from personal experience, the shorter and quicker the interaction is. I mean, I think, like, if this tape were played to a jury, let's jump forward. Let's say, you know, you lose on all your pretrial motions, prosecutor is not willing to amend or dismiss, and you are going to trial and you're in front of a jury. Playing this in front of a jury, I mean, even if the guy looks sober, I can see a jury holding it against the man personally for trying to talk his way out of it, because why would he try so hard if he truly was innocent? Like, he's talking himself into a guilty verdict almost.
Right. And he's saying you're going to ruin my career or, you know, all that stuff. He's kind of
just
implying,
a charge. Yeah. A charge does not.
Implying he's guilty and he's not
Exactly.
cooperating with anything. So to me, the more he's acting this way is going to look worse in his on his part in court.
I agree. I agree. Jurors will look past the whole, you know, he's in front of the camera for 30 minutes. Well, on and off camera for 30 minutes, sounds sober. That's brownie points. I will definitely agree there. But Rod, I think the issue is exactly what Chris just said, is it just looks really, really bad to his credibility.
You know, it's tighter. I'm going to do something known as the Georgia implied consent notice. Something required to read you by state law. Hold on. You know exactly what's going on. I'm going to read it to you. You don't provide an answer. It's going to do that. You see the yes man answer. And you don't provide one, it's considered to be a refusal, okay? Hold on. Let me search you real quick. I'll be quick to the call and I'll read you a pocket set there where it's a little warmer. Just come up here for me. Do you have anything in your pockets you need to know about, baby? All right. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds for me. I know it's cold as hell out here. All right. It's in the 40s. Trustee. What's wrong with the point?
Did he say what the number
I'm
was?
gonna put you on the passenger side, and I'm gonna read your implied consent real quick, okay? So I'll get you for you. Davis, is there someone who can pick up your truck first?
Did he what, Chris?
Did they say what number he blew out loud when he did it?
I don't think they did. I didn't hear it.
Wow, I missed it. The audio from this video is kind of bad.
It is.
Let me tone it. This way? Yeah. Have a seat right there. Don't fall. Don't fall.
All right. What do you say we go to the next video?
21 or over.
Okay.
Georgia law requires you to submit to state-administered chemical test for your blood.
So, well, before we do that, real quick, Chris, what do you think, just overall, professionalism-wise, how do you think the arresting officer could have handled the situation better?
So there's a lot of good that he did. He was staying on track with overall doing the right thing. But you still have to treat him as you would anyone else to make things fair. If, he has a civilian not cooperating in a certain circumstance, he has to move on with those same things with this officer. If he's refusing to cooperate, okay, what do you do now? Are you going to arrest him for DUI or are you not? You have to kind of, he needed to do that because he let this thing go way too long. And I think overall he was trying to be the friendly person instead of, hey, let's, bring cop back and let's do what we need to do. Execute this.
Move forward, right? Quit stalling.
Quit arguing. Quit going back and forth. You're either doing it or you're not. Let's go. You're doing it the best you can in the position, he was put in. He did a pretty good job, but I'm sure nobody wants to do that. Arrest another employee or, your friend or your mother or somebody else. But at the end of the day, that is your job. You signed up for it. You have to execute.
And when you're put in that position, you have to do your job to the best of your ability.
Correct.
What about the driver? Did he handle himself in a professional manner?
No. Turning off the video, it's telling them to go against, I'm sure, their policy as well. So he's violating their policy.
Asking the arresting officer to violate.
Right.
Policy,
what if that officer was doing a DUI stop and civilian says, hey, turn your camera off? He's going to go, I can't do that. But why is it okay for him to ask? It's not. The going behind the car, I think, was his thing. Is he's like back there and he's kind of whispering, hey, turn the video off. Let me go. I'm trying to get out of it. I really don't like that. He didn't own up to anything that he did. And sometimes you just have to say, I messed up.
And I think that goes back to the whole issue of, I'm a police officer, I get special privileges.
Right. Which
I think
we all could say that's BS. That should not exist.
I completely agree. But it was very, I think, vivid.
Right.
In this video.
So
and
Tracy, he did blow a .142 that's what she's saying in the chat.
He blew a .142. That was probably in the court. It's an older case. It was probably in the paperwork. We already know. I believe the case was resolved with him entering a plea of reckless driving.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. I can actually pull it up. It might be small. I don't know if you guys can read that, but I'll read it for you. Davis eventually provided a sufficient sample into the Intoxilizer 9000, which returned a BAC of .144, confirming the earlier PBT reading of 142. So at the on the side of the street, he blew a .142, and then at the station he blew a 144.
Okay.
He resigned the next Saturday. He pled no contest to a reduced charge of reckless driving and was sentenced to 12 months in prison. Probably Probation. Sorry, did I say prison?
I was like, oh wow.
I was like, yeah. As soon as I read that, I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
12 months probation, not prison. Okay. Let's go to the next video. This is a brand new one. This is the stop and arrest of Representative Georgene Lewis from Albuquerque. I know last time we had an issue. Let me stop sharing screen real quick and then reshare because I've had an issue. People saying there was no sound last time. So let me go ahead and fix that. And I just got the same error. So I just want to make sure that.
Nate, a DUI would be a termination. You have to have a driver's license. And you can't have a DUI on your record within, typically, I think a lot of places are 5 years.
5 years for a suspension of your license?
No, so when you put in to be a cop somewhere, they ask you if you've had a DUI within the last 5 years. If you have, you cannot put in. So I don't know if that's still, I'm sure most states are probably somewhere around that, maybe 5 to 10 years. You'd have to check with their policy, I guess.
And there's a follow-up. Would the union be able to help him out?
I'm not familiar with the union. I've never worked with one.
So, so this is fairly new. This happened a week ago, February 13th of 2022.
Wow.
So she was driving, from what I know, and she was arrested on an aggravated drunken driving charge after being pulled over for speeding in Santa Fe. According to police, she was traveling 17 miles per hour over the speed limit on St. Francis Drive. And the video shows the arrest and response of the lawmaker to the arrest. The arresting officer said in a report that he noticed a strong odor of alcohol coming from inside the car. Investigators say Lewis admitted to having 2 to 3 drinks before driving a few hours prior. The officers performed some field sobriety tests, which we will see in a moment. And later, she was also given a breath test. Officials say she was over 2 times the legal limit, so 0.16, 0.17, 0.18, somewhere in that range. Video from the police department shows Lewis making calls to fellow lawmakers saying she spilled alcohol on her shirt earlier that night. She has been booked and released. In a statement, Lewis said, "I am sorry and deeply regret my lapse in judgment. I know I let so many people down. I am accepting responsibility for my mistake. I am prioritizing my health, and I will work hard to regain the trust of my constituents, my community, and my family." Let's watch.
I had to really nail the gas to catch up with this car. Hello.
Hi.
Can I see your license, please?
Yes.
The reason why I'm stopping you, you were speeding a little bit, ma'am.
Sorry, I was in a hurry to get home.
Okay, what's going on?
No, I'm just tired.
Okay, no special emergency or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay. How do you pronounce your last name?
Lewis,
Louis? Okay. Whose car is this?
mine.
Can I see your insurance, please? So where are you coming from?
I was from just friend's house.
Coming from a friend's house? Is this your current address? Around the place?
Yeah,
Where is that at?
Albuquerque.
Oh, Albuquerque. Oh, so you're headed to Albuquerque right now?
No, I'm staying in Santa Fe.
Oh, you're staying here in Santa Fe? Okay.
Chat, stop
I'm
fighting.
sorry, I don't think I have it.
Okay. All right. Miss Lewis, let me ask you something else. I smelled something similar to alcoholic beverages.
So yeah, this is a
Which
brand
did
new
you drink
video. This was released just a couple
I had,
days
like,
ago.
2 glasses of beers.
2 glasses of beer? How
Yeah.
long ago?
Halftime party.
Okay. Okay.
6-ish, maybe.
So all together throughout the day, how many drinks did you have all together today?
2-ish.
2-ish?
2-ish.
Yeah.
Meaning could be 2, could be 3?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of drinks were you having?
Tito soda.
What is it?
Tito soda. Vodka soda.
Vodka and soda?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me look at your eyes, ma'am.
Hey, Rockchild. Hey,
Hey,
Reds.
water, like glassy. Okay.
So, like, I haven't had much sleep because.
Do we have any mods in the
I'm
chat
not
right
trying
now?
to, like, say anything, but, like, I'm a legislator, so we haven't had much sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
these are my plates,
I,
even though they're not in my car.
okay. All right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops.
We haven't had a lot of
So
sleep.
to me, you're just another citizen,
Right.
another driver
Totally,
on the road.
totally cool. Yeah.
Sorry, I did a little faux pas. I accidentally
Blocks.
timed out the wrong person. Lord Tejan, I'm so sorry. You
You're timing everybody out.
I clicked on the wrong name. I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to time out Raider Rob, and right as I clicked, your comment popped up. So I do apologize. That was not intentional. So you'll be back in 5 minutes. I was trying to time out Raider Bob, who again I let people speak freely in the chat. I honestly have no opposition to views. I love hearing what everybody has to say. But when you start saying things like statutes, what did he say? Acts, statutes, etc., are not law. I'm going to put you in timeout. Okay, that's a little too close to flying that sovereign citizen flag, and you're more than welcome to stay in the chat, but keep your voice down. Okay, learn from Tabby's daddy. He knows the line. He's a through and through true sovereign citizen in my opinion, and I love this guy. He always brings something new to the table. But he knows not to fly too close to the sun. You fly too close to the sun, you get a timeout.
I just haven't had a lot of sleep.
Okay. I understand that. So this is what I'd like to do. I'd like to make sure you're safe to drive.
Okay.
I would like to administer some sobriety tests.
Okay.
If at the end of my evaluation I think you're okay to drive, you'll be on your way home.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Just give me 1 second, please.
Right. Also, probably my registration is like.
Do you have the registration for the car?
No,
You don't
because
have
it's
it?
expired.
Okay, I'm gonna have to run the plate.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
you couldn't find your insurance either?
No, I have my insurance, but my registration is. Like,
So
expired.
can you find your insurance, please?
Yes.
Okay. Eddie Tucson, can I have another unit? I'm about to initiate FSTs.
He's calling
So
for
far-
field sobriety test backup. I
Yeah.
already like this guy.
So far, I like him a lot. He's like step by step. He's doing it's like textbook right here. I mean, he's being polite. He's told her, she's in a position of power. I'm gonna treat you like everyone else. Man, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Most definitely.
And he's explaining things to her. He's like, I smell an alcohol. I want to make sure you're going home safely. Like he's breaking it down. He's not just surprising her like get out. He's explaining things. So I do like him.
Likewise. Hey, Eric.
Siringo Cayuga.
Hey, Liberty Cause. Welcome, Sandstorm and Aqua. I don't recognize your names. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel.
82 and 5 for clear.
It's probably giving some personal information there.
Did you find your insurance? Okay, so eventually we'll get back to the insurance.
Okay.
Could you step out of the vehicle, please?
It's about to get interesting.
Sorry, I might have dropped it.
Okay, no problem. We'll get back to that.
Okay.
Do you have like a jacket or something?
It's
You only have that blouse, and it's a little
What a nice guy.
windy out here.
It's so rare that officers even do that these days.
I'm sorry?
I always do this where I drop my phone.
This is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This happened a week ago.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and close your door.
She's
We're here in the middle
a
of the
state
road.
representative.
So come over here in between the two cars where it's a bit safer. Okay. All right, come over here, man. All right. So let me explain to you the reason for the stop so you understand, okay?
I was speeding.
Yes, you were speeding. You were doing 60 on St. Francis. The limit is 45. You know, when you crossed San Mateo Street, the intersection with San Mateo, you were doing 62. So I had to make a U-turn and really nail the gas to catch up with you because you were moving. And even here in Siringo, I didn't measure the speed, but it appeared the limit here is 25.
Okay.
And here in Siringo, you were also speeding. Okay. I couldn't measure the speed, but based on my training and experience, I could tell that you were traveling faster than 25. And the reason for that is you mentioned that you just wanted to get home.
Yes.
Okay. All right, man. So again, out here, the wind is blowing from that direction. Even I'm speaking with you, I can smell the alcoholic beverages from your breath.
Okay.
Okay. So altogether, how many drinks did you have altogether?
Well, I had like 3, but I also had food.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn off this bright flashing lights.
Okay.
And then we'll initiate the assessment. Okay. All right.
I think I'm with you, Chris. He's just continuing the textbook procedure.
He's
step
breaking
by
it
step.
down.
This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm about to do. Let me even turn off the lights. I mean, how often do you see an officer do that? I almost never see that.
Yeah, they need to be.
Okay, Ms. Lois. So
Yeah, I agree. They do, but they
I
never
would
do.
like you to stand right there where my light is.
Okay.
Come over and stand right there, man, and turn around and face me. Okay. So behind me, there are no flashing lights or anything like that. Everything looks pretty
He's
dark,
not.
right?
He's checking these things
So can
off.
you please remove your glasses?
Say that again, Chris.
He's just he's checking these off his list. You know, all these things, the flashing lights, because you know HGN. If you have flashing lights, it could be it'll give you that clue.
Right.
And he just checked that off. Like, hey, there's no flashing lights behind me. I turned them off. Right. Check. Like, he's just step by step. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because I would like to check your eyes. One of the standard sobriety tests is an eye test.
But I see better with my glasses.
I understand, man, but for the purpose. Okay, let me ask you something. At that distance, can you see the tip of my pen?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. That's all we need. So can you please remove your glasses?
But I see better with my glasses.
I understand, man. And it's just that for the purposes of the test, it's better if you remove the glasses. Okay? I would like to make a fair assessment of your ability to drive, okay?
But if without my glasses, I see better at night when I drive with my glasses.
Okay.
This is the only reason that I wear my glasses is because I
Yes.
drive it better at night with my glasses.
Let me explain this to you. You're going. I'm asking you to remove your glasses only for the purposes of the test. The test is going to last approximately 45 seconds. Then you'll be able to put your glasses back on.
But
No,
I
it's not a
see.
vision test. He just needs to.
It's not a vision
I
test.
see better with my glasses.
I know.
That's a short test. It
And this
goes
is not a test of your vision.
about 90
you don't
seconds.
have to have
90 to 120, depending on if you do
vision just to
VGN.
look at the tip of my
The
pen and
vertical
you tell me you can see it from
gaze
this
nystagmus.
distance, approximately 12 to 15 inches.
But he's just trying to calm her down.
Do me a
I
favor,
understand
man.
what he's
Cooperate
doing.
with me, okay?
I'm
I like to
You
make.
just need to
I like
tell
to
her
make
it's
drive
a.
with
standardized.
my
We do it the
glasses.
same for everybody.
Say that again, Chris.
It's a standardized thing we do with everybody. You take them, you have them remove the glasses. They tell you to. So everyone that takes that test should be asked to remove their glasses.
Right. And her argument is, I see better with my glasses, but he's trying to explain to her that your glasses are irrelevant for purposes of this test.
Right. It's not a vision test.
You're not gonna be asked to look across the room and
He's gonna hold up a eyeglass test sheet and make her read it off.
right. That's next year's field sobriety test.
At night.
I like to make a fair assessment.
It's not like I'm not
Listen.
like the song.
Listen,
I
I
wear
like to
my
make a fair
sunglasses at
assessment, and the removal of the glasses is
But
important for this test.
I see better with my glasses on.
What's your name, ma'am?
Georgene.
Georgene. Okay. This is not a vision test. It's
Right.
not. It's not. He's not going to ask you to read anything. He's not going to ask you to see.
But I
distances.
prefer to
Listen,
wear my
listen.
glasses.
He has to look at your eyes. So you need to remove your glasses so he can look at your eyes. It's part of the test.
It's
And
part
then
of-
as soon as that one test is over, you put your glasses back on. Take
But
your glasses off.
I see better with my glasses.
It's not about seeing. He needs to look at you. You don't have to see anything. He just needs to look at your eyes. It's not about you seeing.
Do you think maybe she's just trying to buy time?
I don't know. She looks like she really wants to wear glasses to me. I think she thinks she's gonna fail if she takes them off.
Do you think she thinks she's going to fail, or do you think she maybe have some ulterior motive into knowing that the longer she stands out there when she gets to the station, especially if she's in the elimination phase? Oh, that's what I'm thinking. If she thinks that she's processing the alcohol, the longer she's out there, the longer this drags on, the lower the result is going to be. You never know.
Yeah.
She is a lawmaker, so she's maybe at least mildly familiar with chemistry and DUI law. May not necessarily be an expert on the subject, but just enough to get by.
Right.
I don't know. Just a thought.
Anything else. Take your glasses off. It's part of the test.
I don't feel comfortable taking out my glasses. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I'll take that into account as well.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'd like you to stand with your feet together. Okay. I'm going to allow you to keep your hands in your pockets by your side. Okay.
Yes, it's cold.
Okay. So I don't want you to look at the light. I want you to look at the tip of my pen. Okay. I want you to keep your head still. Don't move your head.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to look at the tip of my pen constantly. Okay. You understand that?
Constantly, yes.
Okay, very well. Don't move your head. Just keep your head still.
Thank you for that tidbit of information, Ray.
Ma'am, can you make a conscious effort to keep your head still?
I'm keeping my head still.
Okay, I see your head moving side to the side.
Because it's cold outside.
All right. Just keep your head still. Look at the tip of my pen, and that's it. All right, hold on. Officer Gluvna, can you do me a favor? Can you turn off that blinker, please? He's just going to turn off the blinker so we don't have a flashing light right there.
Okay.
All right. How old are you, ma'am?
44.
Okay. You're in good health?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have any problems walking in a straight
No.
line or balancing on one foot. Okay. Very well. Okay. One more time. We're going to start.
That's not the question, though. The question he's supposed to ask is, do you have any physical impairments that you believe could affect your performance on these field sobriety tests? Not, are you in general good health?
Right.
Do you think the way that he asked the question was improper, or do you think that that would fly, in your opinion, Chris?
I think it'd be okay. I get what you're saying. I think it's more clear the version you said, just because, hey, what injuries do you have? Do you have any? Is there anything that could prevent you from walking or turning or standing on one leg? Not, you seem healthy. Are you healthy? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. See, I mean, it's just something he could, I think, broken down a little bit more clear and asked a few questions in that.
Look at the tip of my pen.
Okay.
Look at it constantly. Don't move your head. Okay. Keep looking at my pen. Keep looking at my pen.
It's totally cold out there.
Very well. Okay. Now we're going to do a similar test, but instead of going horizontally, we're going to go vertically. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes, but
Okay.
it's very cold.
Okay. I'm taking.
Very cold.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The quicker we finish here, the quicker we'll
Okay,
get out of the
okay,
cold.
okay.
Ready?
Yes.
One more time. Keep looking at my pen constantly.
Officer, it's very cold.
Okay. Ma'am, for the purposes of the test, just keep your head still. Don't move your head. Okay.
Again, I think she really is smarter than she looks. I'm catching her, just my own personal opinion, trying to
rush him.
Number one, and number two, to kind of build a case of, I had all these other extraneous factors, making sure that they're not just heard later, that they're on camera,
Constantly.
heard at the time of her arrest. Like, it's cold. I'm not removing my glasses.
Right.
She now his, as a defense attorney, I would argue that, you shouldn't have done the test in the first place. And the fact that you did it, your results are compromised, because step number one is to ask the suspect to take their glasses off. Right?
May help in motions. You might be able to get that tossed.
Exactly.
On your end, I don't know.
I'm telling you, she's way smarter than she looks. She's very slowly but surely building a case for her for use later in court.
I think you're right.
I'm telling you, I can smell it a mile away.
The more we have to go back and redo the test, the cold.
I get it, but look, it's
okay.
It's
I know
36 degrees outside.
36 degrees, yes. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Time.
But to flip that around, if I were the police officer, I already caught her at least a couple of times exhaling really, really hard. And as the cop, I would say, well, each time she exhaled, I just got a giant whiff of alcohol in my face. And there's no escape from that. Whether the cop is lying, whether the cop is telling the truth, it's on video.
The
fact that he can say it, is destructive because she already admitted to drinking.
Right.
And
I think her numbers changed. Am I correct on that? At first it was two-ish, and then she came out of the car. You asked her again, she said 3.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Her story's already changed as well. So I don't know.
She started with her first response was like 2-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Then he asked her, "What did you have?" She said, "Tito's and soda." Then he confirmed vodka and soda. At no point, by the way, I remember part of her testimony, or part of her not testimony, but part of her explanation in the article, the news article, was that she spilled alcohol on herself. I haven't heard that yet.
Right.
I don't know if you did.
And I don't know if you looked at any kind of clothing, prior to. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
Okay.
And then she did say 3. She did say 3 throughout the night when she got out of the car.
Okay. All right. 6 in vertical. All right, man. So come over here. You see that white line on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and stand on it. Right here where my light is.
Yes.
No. Come over here
I
where
think
my
you
light
got the math right, Reds.
Okay, turn around and face my car. All right, let me get this. Can you point that light over to the side, please? So it's not blinding us. All right, she's going to move the light. There you go. Just like that. All right, Ms. Lewis. So,
Sir, it's very cold.
okay. All right, I'll take that into
It's
account.
very cold.
Okay.
Sir.
All right. So, do you see that white line on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, and you mentioned that you don't have any problems walking in a straight line or touching hill.
Well, except that I haven't had much to sleep. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that into account as well.
More.
Okay. So for what I'd like you to do now, and the ground here is flat.
Hey, Michael.
And hold it, ma'am. Don't do anything yet.
There it
Just
is.
listen to my instructions.
Number
first,
1.
okay. The ground here is
Number
flat, smooth, non-slippery, and anything like that, right?
Right.
And you have flat
Except it's
shoes
Crazy cold.
with
Yeah.
no.
Which clue was that, Chris?
Starting the test too soon.
Started the test too
he
soon.
is, okay.
Right.
All right. So come over here. Go back there. Stand right there. I want you to put the left foot on that line. I want you to put the right foot in front of the left, touching heel to toe, just like this.
That's a toe.
Okay? I didn't tell you to walk yet, man. Just listen to my instructions first. Okay? This is a structured
But it's
test.
cold.
I know.
You understand, officer? It's crazy cold. I want to get home.
I understand that.
I've
ma'am.
been working
Yes.
all day long.
Yes, ma'am.
I've
So-
been working all day long.
Okay.
I've been working.
So here's the question, Chris. Let's say if you were in that situation, you have a suspect that is freezing her bones off, and I think her statement was that it's 36 degrees outside. You want to conduct these field sobriety tests. As an officer of the law, what is stopping you from saying, look, okay, you're not under arrest. Come with me to the police station. Let's do the field sobriety test there where it's well lit, it's warm, it's level, it's quiet. There are no cars zooming by. There's no chill wind. What's your take on that?
I like that. I mean, he did offer her a jacket, which was really nice. But you're right. Somewhere else where the elements are taken out. Again, she's pressing time. I don't know if she would go for that because she's already made those statements. I'm trying to get home. I'm hurry. I haven't slept. I need to get home. I want to get home. I don't know if she'd be willing to get in the car and go somewhere else. I don't know if she would, but I mean, what a great way to ask, hey, you want to do this somewhere warm? It's up to you. And if she says no, then you ask.
Then we have to do it here.
Yep.
This is
and
your
then
choice.
We're here, and then you could remind her, man, I know you said it's cold, but we did offer to go somewhere else, but you don't want to do that. So we'll just keep on moving through this real quick. And there you are.
Yeah.
All day long,
I
and
understand
I'm
that.
crazy tired.
I understand that, and listen to me. They listen to my instructions, follow the test,
Okay.
and the quicker we
Left.
do this, left, right in front of the left, touching heel to toe.
Head.
Take your hands off your pockets.
I'm cold.
She's
Yes,
gonna
ma'am. But
fight
I
that
need you
one.
to take your hands off your pockets and place your hands by your sides. That's part of the test. Okay.
I'm crazy cold.
I know, but if you take your hands, what I need you to do, I need you to take your hands off your pockets, place them by your side, and that's part of the test.
Chad is bringing up a great point, and because I've never had this fact scenario that I just outlined for you. Again, I'm just trying to think outside the box, being devil's advocate for being a defense attorney. I mean, obviously, I would flip that around. You're absolutely right. If I had an officer who said, "Look, let's just, I'm not arresting you. Let's just go to the station and do the tests there." I mean, I would argue that it was an arrest. You did detain the individual. You removed them from the scene. You have all these arguments that you can make, but I'm just trying to see if it truly does rise, as somebody said, a de facto arrest. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's right, especially if, well, they're no longer free to go at that point. So I guess that's
Right.
the flip side of it.
So I think a way around that is, because I've done that in the past, is you ask them voluntarily, hey, you're not going to be cuffs. This is solely voluntary that you go, to this other place and we can conduct these. Then once they sit down in the car, you can just read them their Miranda rights real quick, because they're not free to go in that little space and you're not talking, but in case they talk, they're protected and then you're protected as the officer. So it kind of checks off some boxes. You move them, then you do what you need to do. And if they're, sober, you do, they do them as a sober person, equal to a sober person, then you bring them back. Give them a car and you're on your way. Or you make the arrest at the other location.
At the other location, right.
Right. And then you secure a car and do whatever you need to do from that point.
And again, I like that a lot. Again, I like that. And I'm trying to think, you're always thinking of the counter argument. And I think as a defense attorney, I would argue, once the Miranda rights are being read, even though all you're doing is trying to protect yourself and the record and the arrest that you're not yet making, your future arrest, let's say.
Right.
The problem is when you read the Miranda rights, I have to ask you one question on the stand. Have you ever, well, I don't even know how to phrase the question off the top of my head, but essentially it's, when you read Miranda rights, that is usually indicative that you're arresting the individual. Yes or no?
Correct. And it does kind of shut people down. They kind of want to not do anything after that, which is fine because they're scared. Right. They watch TV shows. They know once those rights are read, they're hauling off to jail,
Right.
Yeah. So
then you could argue that, they're in custody and now they're being interrogated. And actually that raises another point. It just clicked in my head. Your field sobriety tests, if they're done post arrest, let's say, and if the court does agrees that it is an arrest because the individual was removed from the scene, taken to the station. Mm-hmm. If this is done post arrest, now the field sobriety tests in and of themselves could be seen as a form of interrogation, whereas on the side of the road, they're just exercises. Right. Now they've turned into, so it does raise such a host of other issues. But I mean, the best way I think to solve all of this for the officer is to just do them on the scene and give the individual a jacket to make sure that they're warm. And that's just the best we can do. Because
they could argue, hey, at the police station, it's a secured building. I'm not free to leave because I don't know where to go. And I'm a long way from my car. What am I supposed to do? Clearly, they may have felt detained.
AB 34, if you're not enjoying this conversation, you are free to leave, sir. We are going to analyze this video.
Again, another thing while we're talking.
Chad is enjoying this.
In this here, I don't see her breath when she's talking.
She said 36 degrees, so it's above the freezing point. But
when weather's brought up in report writing purposes, I put that as a timestamp in there as well. So you can say, hey, it was 40, whatever. Just it's in there for information purposes.
Cool. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. AB 34, you're more than welcome to go and watch the video on your own. You don't have to stick around, man. If
the link in there,
Christ. I swear.
Okay.
It's 36
Yes,
degrees.
I know
it's
it's 36.
36
I know.
degrees out here.
I
You
understand
know
that.
it's 36 degrees out here.
I understand that, and I'm trying to expedite this
Sir,
in a manner that
it's
you understand.
36 degrees.
Ms. Lewis, cooperate with me, please.
I'm trying to cooperate
Okay.
with you, but it's crazy
Okay,
cold.
go ahead and place the right foot in front of the left.
I did the whole eye thing.
Okay.
I'm totally cool.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to cooperate with you. It's 36 degrees outside.
Okay.
I am freezing.
Yes.
You have me outside of my
That's
car.
why I told you to put on the jacket. It's a bit windy out here. Right in front of the left. Hands out of your side. Hands out of your pockets on your sides, please.
Can I at least have my hands in my pockets? It's cold.
No, ma'am, because
it's crazy
I need
cold.
to assess your ability to maintain balance.
It's
and
crazy
with your
cold.
pockets and with your hands in your pockets, it's going to be difficult to do that. Okay, I'd like to make a
Look
fair
at
assessment.
my legs
I know.
are shaking.
I
It's 36 degrees outside.
I know.
I'm cold.
Can you
I'm
just take
cold.
your hands out of the pockets for 1 minute?
I'm shivering.
Okay.
I'm shivering outside.
Okay,
It's
what if I
cold.
get you some gloves?
I have gloves. That's
Okay,
why
get
I'm
them.
putting my
Get your
hands.
gloves. Get your gloves.
You're making this a longer process.
But
You do the test, it'll get done with, and then we'll go from there. Take your hands out of
okay,
your
so I'm
pockets.
taking out my
Okay.
hands out of my pockets.
Okay, right foot in front
Even
of the
though
left.
I'm crazy cold.
Right foot in front of the left. Hands by your sides.
Hands by my side.
Ma'am, don't walk yet. I didn't tell you to
Third
walk yet.
time she started.
Just assume that position and listen to my instructions, because you have to listen to my instructions while you maintain that position. Okay, right in front of the left.
Okay, this is my left foot on
Yes,
the line,
right in front of the left.
and the left foot
Touching
here.
heel to toe, hands out of your sides, and stay in that position until I tell you to start. Okay.
Okay,
When I tell you to start, I want you to take 9 steps, heel to toe, along that line that we talked about.
9 steps.
I didn't tell you to walk yet. Just listen to my instructions first.
Is that
Okay.
4?
Four times.
Ma'am,
It's cold.
okay, go back
It's
and assume.
cold.
Go back and
Just
assume
one
that.
clue. Just
It's
one
still
clue.
one clue, right?
But it looks bad, when this has to be played or in documentation purposes. She started the test too soon, 4 times.
For sure.
Clearly not following directions.
Not much as a defense attorney can I argue against that, other than, according to your training, that is considered to be one clue, officer, correct? And then the answer has to be yes. But the problem is the jury's going, okay, counselor.
That position.
It's very cold.
Assume that position.
Okay,
Hands, right foot in front of the left.
1,
Okay,
2.
ma'am, don't walk
3.
yet. Don't walk yet. Just listen to my instructions first.
He just needs to
You
tell her,
have to
don't
listen to the
start anything
instructions
until
while you
Okay,
maintain
I
that
will.
position.
I will
Okay?
listen to your instructions to my hands and my pockets.
Okay.
a little slurry right there.
I caught that too. And well, I'm wondering, is it because of the cold,
It could be.
or is
it's
it because
36 degrees outside?
and she's been standing outside for a good almost 20 minutes now? I'm on the fence as to where this case is. It can be argued very strongly both ways.
Agree.
I'll take that into account. When I tell you to start the test, I want you to take 9
36
steps.
degrees outside.
I want you to take 9 steps, heel to toe, along that line that we have on the ground. I want you to keep
But
your
you
hands by
only-
your sides.
You only do it when you say
Just
I do it.
listen to my instructions. I want you to
Okay.
keep your hands by your sides. I want you to look down at your feet, and I want you to count the steps out loud.
To 9.
Yes. When you get to the 9th step up there, whichever foot you have up in the front, I want you to keep it planted on the ground. Don't move it. With the other foot, I want you to take a series of small steps and turn around like this. After you make the turn, I want you to take another 9 steps, heel to toe, back to the starting point. Did you understand
So
that?
cold.
Did you understand that?
It is so true.
It's
just
so
a guy
cold.
having fun.
Yeah, but did you understand
It's
my
36
instructions?
degrees outside.
You said that many times, but did you
Look at
understand my instructions?
my legs are shivering. I'm so cold.
But
I
did you
tried to
understand
do
my
it, but you
instructions?
kept telling me to stop. I was trying to do it.
Yeah.
And here's the issue. Again, she is stalling for time. She's arguing with the cop. All she has to do is say exactly what just the guy having fun just said. Look, officer, I would love to do these tests, but I would like my attorney to be here.
Right. And if she's delaying, then I don't know why she wouldn't just refuse them, if that's the route she's kind of taking. But I don't
Maybe
know.
she's scared because she's a lawmaker, she knows her position. She's afraid that if she refuses, it's going to look worse on her. But
Like
if she
she'd
just kind of
cooperate
plays
or
this back and forth game, maybe it's going to look better.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just a guess.
Right.
But I agree. I mean, just say, look, I'm refusing to do your test until my attorney gets here. I'm not refusing to do them totally, completely, and permanently. Again, this is the workaround of the. I didn't refuse. I said I want a supervisor here, or I want a lawyer here. Don't ask for a supervisor. I know some people do that, but just something I've seen. I refuse to do these tests until my lawyer gets here.
Yes, but you have to
Okay,
understand the
okay.
instructions first.
1, 2,
Ma'am, not
three,
yet. We haven't finished.
4,
I haven't finished with the
5.
instructions yet.
You told me the instructions. I was trying. Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to make a demonstration to show you what the test is
Okay,
going to
tell
look
me.
like. During the demonstration, I'm taking only 3 steps, but you're taking 9. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So this is the position you're in right now, ma'am. Okay? When I tell you to start, I want you to take
Patience
9
is a
steps in
virtue.
this manner.
Yes.
1,
It is.
2, 3. On the 9th step, take a series of small steps. Turn around without moving the lead foot. Then take another 9 steps back. 1, 2, 3, and so on until you get to 9. Once you start walking, you cannot stop. Did you understand my instructions?
Yes.
Okay. Hands out of your pockets.
Don't forget
right
to like
foot in
this
front of the
video,
left.
comment below, subscribe
And
to
go
the
ahead and
channel,
start.
hit that
Step of the
notification
line.
bell, guys.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn.
Turn.
Right?
Proper turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, missed tilt to toe. Step number 9.
Very cold.
Okay. Okay. Come over here. Come over here, ma'am. Stand right there.
I did it.
Yes. Yes. It's a series of 3 tests. This is the last test. Go ahead and stand right there.
Even though it's 34 degrees outside, you're
yes,
making
yes.
me like take
Go
this
ahead.
test.
Go ahead and stand right there. Go ahead and stand right there. Okay, turn around and face me. Okay, feet together, hands by your sides. For the next test, I want you to raise the foot of your choice.
Your Honor, for the record, she jumped very soberly.
I want you to raise it about 6 inches off the ground. Keep your knees straight.
Okay.
Keep your hands by your sides. I want you to look at the elevated foot, and I want you to count out loud 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and so on until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
This is a time test.
Okay.
So just do it until I tell you to stop. Did you understand that?
Yes.
I'm going to make a quick demonstration of what the test is going to look like. During the demonstration, I'm going to raise my right foot. You can raise whatever foot you want. Okay? So when I tell you to start the test, this is what I want you to do. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, and so on until I tell you to stop. Did you understand my instructions?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Officer Gluvna, can you give me 30 seconds, please? And stop the clock when I tell you to stop it, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, feet together, hands by your sides. Hands, take your hands out of your
1001,
pockets, please.
1002,
I didn't tell you to
1003.
start yet.
This
Hands
is,
out of
you
your
keep
hands,
telling me
hands
to
out of
do
your
it,
pockets.
and then you keep telling me to stop.
Okay, hands out of your
I'm
pockets, please.
freezing.
Yes,
I
yes,
am
yes.
freezing.
This is going to last only a few
I'm
seconds.
freezing. Look at my legs.
Okay.
My legs are
Yes,
like
ma'am.
so shivering.
Can you please take your hands off your pockets? Okay, go ahead and start.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005.
Down. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009.
Okay, place the foot down.
Whew. I have to
Keep going,
like,
ma'am.
get warm.
Keep going. Keep going.
1010, 1011, 1012,
Swing.
1013, 1014, 1014, 15, 16,
Hands.
17, 18, 19. I don't.
Okay. Did we complete 30 seconds with the foot up in the air? Okay, ma'am. Go back. Feet together.
1,
keep
2,
going.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
10.
Okay.
He's not helping
Come over
us.
here, ma'am. Come over to the front of my car.
What did you say, Chris?
She's not helping herself, is she?
No, not at all. I mean, it's actually starting to look ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She went from, look, it's I'm freezing. You're making me do these tests. To let me just start jumping around like a crazy bunny rabbit because I'm cold. That's not what a I don't know. I don't think that's what a sober individual would have done in this situation. I mean, if anything, I think she's building a case against her for intoxication. The more she's talking, the more she's not acting like a sober individual would, in my quote unquote Joe citizen opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But we are away from the wind. Ms. Lewis? Okay. So let me ask you something else. This is a voluntary test, okay?
Okay.
And it has nothing to
At
do with my
34 degrees
yes
in the middle of the night.
And this final test that I'm going to offer you has nothing to do with my decision, whatever decision I make.
Okay.
I already reached the conclusion.
Okay.
Would you give me a sample of your breath on a small machine that I have in my car?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Very well, ma'am. So I'm placing you under arrest for DUI.
That's exactly right, AB 34. I refuse to comply unless I have my attorney present. You're under no obligation in any state in the union to perform these tests. And I think, Chris, you may be familiar with my channel. I've said this time and time again, that there is no law that I know of anywhere in this country that penalizes you for refusing standardized field sobriety tests. I know you can speak for Colorado for sure. I can speak for Kentucky for sure. But as far as I know, and I have not been proven wrong to date, there is no statute, no constitutional amendment, no act of any sort that says if you refuse field sobriety tests, for example, you can be charged with XYZ crime. There is no penalty. I mean, the only thing that you could get is an arrest. I mean, this is the problem with people on the street. They try to talk their way out of an arrest. You're not, if the officer has already made up their mind, usually, not always, if they just smell the alcohol, for them, that's enough. They smell alcohol, that's going to be a DUI arrest. And they just want to build their case. That's why they ask you all these questions. That's why they have you perform the field sobriety test. That's why they have you blow into the device. But if you refuse everything under the sun, you're still going to get those metal handcuffs on you. 9 times out of 10, the officer will arrest you regardless. Why? Because they may even know, like, this dude's going to walk away from this in 6 months, or this lady is going to walk away from this in 6 months. But I did my job because I want to protect the public. I want to make sure that they're off the road right here, right now, in this very moment.
At the end of the day, that's the win right there, is getting somebody who's intoxicated off the roadway. Whatever happens after that happens, but the win is that person's off the road.
Exactly. And whether the officer is right or wrong, as long as they believe that they have done their job properly, the defense attorney and the prosecutor will sort it out in court, and we'll get to the nitty-gritty as to whether or not they truly are or were under the influence. And somebody already mentioned this in the chat, and I thank you for that. Beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the standard that the juries decide cases under. Now, in a perfect world, I've tried cases where there was tons of reasonable doubt, and sometimes jurors don't follow the law. Sometimes there's a thing called, what I like to call, reverse jury nullification. A reverse jury nullification is when it's essentially they also decide to ignore the law, but they ignore the law that's beneficial to the defense. They ignore the law stating that in their minds, well, the prosecutor did not rise to the level maybe of beyond a reasonable doubt, but I think your guy's guilty, so we're going to vote guilty. That does happen in the United States courts. And I tend to see that in the smaller counties where maybe the public is a lot more closer knit. When there's diversity, when there is a big city, it's a lot harder for the prosecution to win. So I've seen it both ways, and there are different strategies to be used with jurors that come from maybe a small town, and they feel small town juries, I've noticed, are more keen to believe an officer even when they have violated maybe every rule in the book, because it's their guy, it's their cop, it's their local cop that they've known maybe for the last 10-15 years, you know. So it's you got to understand where you are, first of all, and how to approach it if you do take it to trial. I mean, this goes beyond trial strategy. This goes into understanding location and the mentality of the individuals that you're trying the case in front of. And again, that kind of stuff only comes with experience. You can't teach that in a classroom. Right. I don't think I would have even listened. I would have understood personally. But let's finish off this video.
Louis, can you turn around, please?
Yes.
Right. Let me ask you a couple of things. I need to make sure that you don't have anything inside your mouth. Can you please open your mouth? Do you have anything inside your mouth that doesn't belong in there? Okay, very well. Can you call my 20-minute dep, please?
Just start with 20-minute dep, please.
Ms. Louis, I'm going to read you something very important, okay? I tell you what, come over to the car and we'll read it while you're sitting inside the car, so it's
Can we get inside the car?
a little warmer. Yes.
Do you have anything in your pockets I need to know about?
No.
Needles, knives, anything like that?
Nothing.
Okay. And I didn't see any pockets on the pants that she
I don't have
has.
anything.
She has a blouse.
Do you have anything in your bra?
Nope.
Cavity search.
What did you say, Chris?
We hope not. I was reading the comments. Cavity search.
Oh,
We hope not.
that was the previous video. Rewatch last week's stream, Reds.
Okay, you guys have a seat inside the car. Okay, Ms. Woods. So pay attention because I'm going to read to you something very important.
Can you lock my car, please?
Okay. I'm sorry?
Can you lock my car, please?
Yes, we'll take care of your vehicle. I'll explain that. Hold on. Let me get back to my.
All right. So
A lot going on in that video.
yeah, trying to unpackage it in my head here for the audience. I mean, I think there are arguments to be made for both sides, most definitely. She, in my personal opinion, again, trying to see it as a layperson, I think she was trying to build a case for, these field sobriety tests are not going to be a good indicator of what you're trying to find because the temperature is so cold that I'm unable to physically stand, that I have to hop around like a bunny to keep myself warm. So sure, maybe I did stumble here, I did stumble there. Maybe I showed a few clues, but overall, the argument is going to be that due to the temperature, due to the fact that I'm tired, due to the fact that I'm just trying to get home, all of these factors are going to play against the field sobriety tests. But the counter to that is, well, you started the test about 5 times after I instructed you 6 times not to start the test before I tell you to start. And it's clear, I think, the officer learned how to approach the situation, how to deal with her as a person, because he was aggravating her and he saw it and he just kept, I think he just saw the button and he just kept pressing it. Did you catch that? I mean, and I've seen officers who they're smart people. There are very intelligent police officers out there, and they know what they need to do with each individual suspect because they've done so many arrests. They've met so many people they know which buttons to press, and if they just keep pressing that same button, they're going to build that case right before their eyes against the individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So did she comment say she blew a .17 later? Is that what happened?
At the station, so I don't have that part
So she
of the
didn't
video.
refuse then. I thought she refused.
No, she
Being
did
that
not
she refused
refuse.
the PBT, but I thought ultimately she was just going to refuse altogether.
At the station, if you remember, Chris, let me find that article.
Oh, on that page, so it does give a end result.
Yeah, officials say she was over 2 times the legal
Oh,
limit.
correct. Yep, I do remember
Yeah.
now.
Remember that?
Yep.
So I didn't know the exact number, but yeah. So she refuses on the side of the road, but then she blows at the station.
Okay.
So obviously that's going to be a huge factor against her.
Right.
Rockchild of the 60s asks, would you have a hard time getting her out of the charge? Well, let me answer it this way. Because I don't know what the definition is of a hard time, but what we would need in a case like this is an expert, most definitely. We have no indication from this video or from the chat and the documentation. We have no documentation to show that the machine was calibrated in proper working order, that it was in proper maintenance. I know they use the Intoxilizer 9000, which has a whole slew of issue when it comes to filters and stuff like that. So sometimes it mistakes alcohol when there's something else in the system. We don't know if she's a diabetic. There are too many unanswered questions here. Acid reflux is another. I think if I were to say about 1 out of 2 people have some form of acid reflux in the United States, again, this is a total guess. From my experience, that sounds about right. About 50% of the population has some form, and maybe 5 to 10 have GERD, flat out gastroesophageal reflux disease, diagnosed or undiagnosed. It's probably higher than that, but this is, again, just an estimate based on my own experience. Well, with all those factors taken into account, her roadside demeanor, absolutely. This is a fightable case. She has very positive aspects about her behavior. She has some negative aspects about her behavior. Clearly, she was trying to build a case for herself, and I think she did a good job.
Yeah, I think she has a fighting chance on that one. I think with the glasses and HGN, I think if that gets thrown out, she's got a fighting chance. And to answer a comment, Reds, I'll sign a pepper spray for you. I'll autograph it for you.
Is that a question?
It was a question. I can't highlight it like you.
Let me see if I can find it. Let's open up the floor real quick before I forget. So let's open up the floor to question and answers, Q&A session real quick here. Both videos, that old video that we watched from 2018 about the police officer who tried to talk his way out of a DUI and tried to blackmail the police officer, and then the representative as well. This is the question. If I send you a pepper spray, will you autograph it for me and send it back? That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Chris. What kind of questions do you all have?
Let's do this. The second cop on the latest video we just watched, let's grade him professionally, scale from 1 to 10, how good of a job he did. I'd like to see what everyone has to say. Because I know what you said, Larry. I took into what you said.
You heard Chris. Will you repeat the question, Chris?
Yeah, look, grading the cop we just had from a scale from 1 to 10, 10 obviously being the highest, and good overall job performance.
What do you think, chat? If you were to grade this police officer on a scale of 1 to 10, how he performed his job as a police officer, how would you grade him?
And if for the people scoring him low, what could he have done better? Like these 3s and 4s.
Looks like we're getting a bit of a range. We got a couple of 3s, 6, 6.5, a few 7s, a couple of 8s. I'd say it looks like the average is about at what, a 5, maybe 5.5, given all the scores. Just trying to do math in my head.
Yeah, I thought his performance was pretty good.
Why wasn't she searched for a weapon? Asks Doug. Is that a...
Well, everyone should be patted down the same, so if they did it differently, then shame on them.
I didn't see her being searched for a weapon when she was being placed under arrest. Did you?
I didn't. He just mentioned that she didn't have pockets, but you still need to, you know.
You can't just take their word for it.
Right. Check waistbands and do all that. You know, somebody may have who knows, something that needles or something if they're diabetic and they save them there and you go in the hospital with needles. I mean, I don't know. Or the jail.
Eric says he could have explained the tests better.
Okay.
Rockchild says he let her argue too much. That's the reason for his vote. He graded him a 7.
Okay. So, I mean, in this officer's perspective, then, I mean, or going back in his shoes, are we just supposed to yell at people until they stop arguing with you? I mean, what's the solution on getting her to cooperate then? It's tough.
Mike Jones, no, he retired from the police force, is my understanding, right, Chris?
Correct. And then somebody asked earlier what I was doing now. I saw an opportunity in the real estate business, and that's where I'm at currently.
I think real estate is much more lucrative if I were to venture a guess. Lacey says he was polite and courteous, but slow.
Okay.
Well, isn't that a little biased, Lacey? I mean, he's on the street. He's making judgment calls. To me, he seems like he knew what he was doing. This was definitely not his first stop, for sure.
I think the slower, the clearer you could be. If you're rushing thing and they feel rushed, they're going to get probably a bad performance.
Yeah. I like the fact that he was a little bit slower and kind of just articulated everything and took it
down.
Yeah. So,
now, for the walk and turn, when he was explaining it for the 6th time, I think he should have tried a different alternative way of saying it, like stop, time out. So don't start this until I tell you otherwise. Now let me explain everything. Now you have to get back in that position and then go on again and see if it finally clicks. Sometimes you just need to tell them this is part of the test. You have to get in that spot and stay there. You know?
Exactly. Mike Jones, I agree. I think he was knowledgeable and very deliberate in his actions. Again, are you ever going to have the perfect DUI stop? No, I don't think those exist. There's always, always, always going to be something that, veers one way. Well, let me rephrase that. I did review one of the first videos I think I reviewed on my channel. I think it was season 1, episode 1 or 2 of my lives. We did have the perfect DUI stop, but that's because the minute our driver got out of the vehicle, and I think I even said this was textbook. I remember saying those words. This is a textbook DUI stop if you're the driver, not as the cop, as the driver. Because as soon as he walked out, he said, "I want to speak to my lawyer. I'm not talking. I want to speak to my lawyer." That's a perfect textbook DUI stop from a citizen's perspective. Now, I don't think I have ever or will ever see a perfect DUI stop from an officer's perspective, not because all officers are so horrible and bad, but because there's just so much that they have to do. There's so much that they have to go through, and you're never going to have, first of all, complete cooperation. You're never going to have the perfect conditions. You're never going to have, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. But for a police officer, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, it's all about a totality of the circumstances.
Correct.
That it's correct. You're building a case, and okay, so maybe you lost on this point, but you're continuing to build over here. You lost maybe another point, but you continue to build over here. And so if they don't cooperate and you are at 0, I mean, that makes your job as a police officer a lot harder, but there's only so much you can do. You can't force an individual into performing field sobriety tests if they're refusing to do so. Any other questions that I miss? Reds, that's a great question. Why not just offer the PBT first? Chris, do you want to take that one?
Well, like Larry just said, you're building your case. If you just jump in right to the PBT, you can say, well, I stopped this driver for speed, went straight to the PBT, and she blew this. We went to the station, and I was done. Well, you didn't know how she walked or anything else. So you can't really, if that's how you want to present your case to, these fine professionals, I mean, that's just a poor way of doing business. Like, that's why I liked this officer, is he was really thorough and slowed things down and asked these questions, and he actually caught her answering them different. So, I mean, that's all just helping him build that case.
And the way that I've approached this, and I don't know if this is how the training goes. I honestly can't remember if it's in the manual or not, but there comes a point where, as a police officer, especially if you're not as experienced, let's say, as a more experienced police officer, if you do the PBT first and it comes up above the legal limit, I feel like there's a sort of, any decision you make afterwards, any data that you receive from this suspect, let's call him, is going to be colored by that number. So here's what I mean. Some clues that may not be there suddenly will appear before you because you already have that number in the back of your mind going, yeah, I think they're under the influence because they just blew a 0.13 10 minutes ago, and now as they're going through the field sobriety test,
doing it backwards.
You're doing it backwards. Your decision is already made. You're already going to arrest them. So everything that they're doing is just, I mean, it's already a dog and pony show, but now it's even more so that. Another a good friend of mine, a defense attorney, likes to call it the Simon Says game. Simon says, put your feet together. Simon says, put your hands at your sides, and you're just supposed to follow along. Great question. Great question, Reds. So, Jen, we did mention this point. If the point is to get drunk drivers off the road, then why not just do that and stop worrying about building the case? Getting them off the road is the win, right? Well, getting them off the road is the win for the police officer. Then the state has to milk them for every dollar and cent that they have. You don't forget about that.
Right. And you don't want to violate people's rights by just taking them off the road, right? So you can't violate rights. You got to do everything right. And that's the procedure we have right now.
Exactly. You got to follow the Constitution. You can't just be violating people's rights because you personally believe. Gosh, how many cases have I had where the police officer admits, yeah, I violated all of my training, but I was under the impression that they're under the influence, and so I arrested them. No refusal. I mean, refusal with no number. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. The police officers, and they do have that power, and sometimes it gets abused. They do make judgment calls. They do have discretion, and sometimes it does get abused.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop this quota thing going on. That's not true. There's not quotas. I never worked around a quota system. Doesn't exist. There's nothing we have to meet. There's none of that. Now, other states can't answer to that, but I always hear people say that, and there's not, in my experience, it's not been a quota.
I think it comes from the fact that towards the end of the month, and I've seen this too, we tend to see more police officers on the side of the road pulling people over than you do in the middle or the beginning of the month. So it may be a misconception, but some people believe it to be true. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
Well, I think we can stop it right here. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, which is way longer than I anticipated this would go, Chris. And I thank you for staying and doing this with me once again. So this has been great. I mean, I love this back and forth. The last video, if you remember, chat, was supposed to be a DUI arrest. I thought it was going to be an arrest of a police officer under the influence. That was my intent. Somehow ended up being a completely different video, and we went down a path I was not expecting to go down. But we had fun all the same. We had a great audience. We had a great turnaround, just like today. And we're if Chris is up for it, I'm more than happy to keep doing this. We'll review more recent videos. I think that one kind of, again, maybe slipped through. I could have sworn I've never done that video, but the more I think about it, I think, Chris, you're right. Yeah. I did do that video.
I remember that one.
It's, in my defense, it's been like a year since I've done that video. So my memory was hazy, but the more I got through it, I was like, wait a minute, this is starting to ring some bells.
Me, so yeah, it was okay.
But it's the first time that you had a chance to chime in, so that was fantastic. You got, I think Chad, again, is receiving exponential benefit from hearing not just me, because I'm biased. I'm a defense attorney. I defend the accused. Now we have two sides. We have my side and we have your side. We have a police officer and we have a defense attorney, a former police officer and the defense attorney, both giving their input. And I think that is absolutely invaluable, not just for the chat right now, but for viewers that are going to be watching this video, days, weeks, months, years from now. And I'm very thankful for that, as I'm sure our viewers are. So thank you again, Chris. Again, chat, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Chris.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, chat. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Chris, and hope to have you on again next week. All right. All right, everybody. You all take care. I had a great time doing this. Really enjoyed myself. Feel free to shoot me an email with suggestions for what you want to see. If there are any videos that are going to be coming up, brand new videos, I want to kind of change it up a little bit. I want to change it up to allow for more viewers to have interest. So I don't have to go digging for these videos. Like this last one was submitted to me, and I want to keep that trend going. The one of the representative getting arrested. So send me the recent stuff. Send me, because for me, sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on. I have a business to run and all that. Tell me what you guys want to see. Share with me what you guys want to see. You have my email. It's gonna be a lot more entertaining, I think, if we're reviewing stuff that is fresh. It is just happened, like this week, this past week. So for next week, I'm gonna have to talk to Chris, see about his availability. I think he might actually be unavailable this weekend, but maybe next weekend and the weekend after that. We'll figure things out as we go along. But basically, that's what I'm looking to do, is to have some fresh content of recent events. I mean, nothing beats current events. And you guys tell me what you want to see. So you have my email. If you don't, I'm sure one of the mods will. Oh, there we go. Flowtog already got it. Larry at LarryFormanLaw.com. Let me go ahead and pin that real quick. So just send me an email. Send me an email. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you're interested in. Tell me what you want us to review. Because now, I mean, this is invaluable stuff, you guys. I got approached with this idea by Chris. He's the one who reached out to me. And I absolutely love every minute of it. So we're going to keep this going, at least for as long as Chris will tolerate it and tolerate me and tolerate chat. And yeah, today has definitely been one of the longer ones. We just hit 2 hours. So email me, you guys. Email me. Thanks again for joining me. I love every single one of you. You know, as always, thanks for tuning in on this Sunday evening. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. And I love you guys. The DUI guy signing off. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.